This week we're going to delve further into taqsim by following up the Samia Gamal combo. So, we are going to use the pitter-patter shimmy that we learned in the first half of Ah Ya Zein. Pitter-patter referencing the feet on tippy toes, going around like this. If your Achilles won't let you go up and stay up in releve, you could do a flat foot version. For me, it's a little more labor intensive to shuffle along on flat feet, so I'm going to be demonstrating on releve like this. So right after we finish the Samia combo, which goes dun, da, dun, da, dun, 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 we are going to go straight into this pitter-patter thing. So again, I'm not like doing a lot of hip action. I'm just letting the effect of my feet kind of go up the chain into a soft amount of shimmy. So that's the base. We're going to do 4 whole rounds of shiftatelli. So doom, tech, 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 doom, doom, tech, 4 times. So we start from up here on our tiptoes as the end of the combo, where we zip in this foot. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's just the bottom. So just know that that is going on continuously while we layer on some arm work. So they go from wrists together, and we weave them down and keep them here. So we've got 2 8s like this. Then for the third 8, we transition into this rolling one over the other. If this churning effect is a little too much for you, you could just go up and down, and it's largely the same effect. Now for the fourth one, we're going to expand that out in front of us. All right, let's do that with music. This clip is called Taqsim in our Ah Ya Zein sound clip library. And we're done with that section just before the vocals come in. Now let's repeat that. You don't have to keep doing the Samia combo right before it if you don't want to for this practice. I know that the music does start a little bit abruptly here. Okay, now the formation of our group is what makes this bit interesting. So for the Samia combo, we're in an inward facing circle. Now the first 8, we are going to pitter-patter our way back to back. For the next 8, we are going to circle around each other. So imagine us right in the center of the circle. We've got a bunch of individuals back to back, and they're just going to like rotate like that. It'll be clear when we do it in class, and I will try to remember to take a clip of that for you. So for anyone who misses the in-person class, you can see what I'm talking about. So again, got the combo. First 8 is for putting your backs together. Second 8 is for starting the rotation. Third 8, we continue the rotation but with the different arms. Fourth 8, we are going to rotate our way back to the inward facing circle as we extend our arms to the middle. All right, let me demonstrate. And that's it. A new component in our classes this week is finger cymbals, also known as sagat in Egyptian Arabic, or zils in reference to the longtime Turkish cymbal maker Zildijan. So, finger cymbals can come in many sizes, weights, and shapes. The ones commonly used outside of the Middle East often have double slots with elastic through them because it's a very stable way to keep them from wobbling around. There's also single hole ones, which is more the ancient customary shape, and those would have cord and later on elastic going through the single hole, and those have more play to them. So I have the double slot kind. These are by Soroyan Mastercrafts. There's many different qualities. I can point you to local source of finger cymbals that you can buy for yourself, or you can just use mine in class. So the way you put them on is you slip them onto your thumb and middle finger right above the first joint. You want it to be snug. Some people have them so snug that their fingers go blue. And, well, that's something we put up with, similar to ballet dancers wearing pointe shoes, because we don't want them flying off when we go spinning or whatever else we're doing with our hands. But we're not doing anything too crazy in our class, so you don't have to have them super tight. Okay, so onto the middle finger, like so. And there you have it. You could even label them in some fashion where you can remember which ones are for the thumbs, depending on how forgiving you've sized your elastic. Some of my zills will not go on my thumb because I've sized them for the middle fingers. But that's up to you and how you sew them. Zills don't come with the elastic pre-sewn usually because it's meant to be customized to your hands. All right. Clack, clack, clack is one strike. This is one of the quieter ones. See how my other fingers are touching the dome? This makes it so that they don't make a ringing noise, and I'm also clacking them together instead of letting the cymbal strike and release. Strike release is a little more of a ring. Once I take my other fingers off, you've got a full ring sound. We are going to start with just those two sounds, and you can use just one if you're more comfortable with that. It might also be prudent to bring some ear protection if you have sensitive ears, or just in general, it's a good idea to protect our hearing. You can go to say the rock shop or a musician supply store. They have ones that are especially for musicians, so it doesn't dampen your hearing the notes particularly, but it does take off the edge, so you're not damaging your eardrums. Now I'm going to give you a little context for finger cymbals in Egyptian dance. Now, finger cymbals have been used for several thousand years, could be 3,000 to 5,000 years based on archaeological finds so far. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's tied to the same style of dancing or playing, but finger cymbals have been in use around the Mediterranean forever, basically. In more recent Egyptian history in particular, they are highly associated with the Awalim and Gawazi entertainers, who were expected to be able to sing as well as dance and play cymbals. So an early example of this in the Golden Era is Badia Masabni. Many people credit Badia with a number of innovations that have stayed in rock sharki up through the years. This doesn't mean that she was the first. It does mean that she proliferated stylizations in the nightclub venues of Cairo around the early 20th century, even though those traditions do go back a ways. Nightclubs were first established in Cairo in the probably late 1800s. I can point you to more resources for historical context on that, but suffice it to say, Badia Masabni had a very famous club where many of the most famous Golden Era stars got their start. So they were often expected to be able to play finger cymbals, which is why we are incorporating this into our Golden Era curriculum, even though they're not part of Ah Ya Zein. I'm going to play you a little clip of Badia Masabni playing finger cymbals while singing and doing a bit of dancing on a TV interview, I believe. This is a clip I found on YouTube, so I'm not 100% sure of the context, but she is playing along to an oud player, and you'll notice that she's playing the cymbals rather softly. It almost has a castanet-like sound in this clip. What I want you to get out of this is awareness that even very simple patterns can be played in an improvised manner that has a lot of musical awareness, so it sounds more complex than it is. She's actually just using a couple of techniques and choosing when to switch between them. Now listen. There's the oud player. You can hear those cymbal strikes a little bit.
محلاها في البيت والسينما وفي كل مسرح في الضلمة يا محلى الضلمة محلاها في البيت والسينما
So the patterns she is using there are basically alternating with singles or doubles. So singles be like this, and double it. In contrast with the first pattern I played, which has a sort of galloping horse sound. So by her strategic choices on when to be silent, when to play singles or doubles, when to switch to the galloping sound, that creates a soundscape that is constructed of just a few simple ingredients. All right, for our finger cymbal practice, I just want you to focus on marching in place, and then we'll add the cymbals slowly at first. So, adding our Masabni rhythm, start by adding cymbals every time we step. Here we go. And double. So I'm striking the cymbal every time I step or lift my foot. Step, lift, step, lift, step, lift, step, lift. This is doubles. All right, we're going to repeat that using the gallop sound. Tap, 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 tap. Tek and ka are sounds used when we're noting rhythms. So the three sounds are doom, tek, and ka. Doom is the low drum sound, tek is the higher drum sound, and ka is a strike with the other hand. So if I was playing a drum, it would be doom, doom, tek, doom, tek, doom, doom, tek, doom, tek. If this is the center of the drum, edge of the drum. And the ka would be struck by the opposite hand. So with finger cymbals, a lot of the time we'll use the tek and ka because that's our dominant and non-dominant hand. So, tek, 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 tek. There's different ways to go about this, but the way I'm going to teach you is to use your dominant hand for every tek. Tek, 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 right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right. Or if you're left dominant, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left. Okay, let's bring the beat back in. Get that march going. There you go. This is my tempo. I'm going to say it before I do it. Tek, 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 tek. You'll notice that teka is actually before the first doom in the drum pattern. Doom, 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 doom. Tek, 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 tek. Another way to think of that would be with counts. You could think of it as and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Now the reason we start with and is so the pattern can roll over continuously from phrase to phrase. So that is and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Let's play that music clip again with counts instead of